It's 8 o'clock. The chimes are going. And we are on the world. Hello, world. Look, there you are.
I know.
You can say hi.
Hi.
See, look, and no hands. Look, she can talk. Say hi.
Hi.
Crazy girl. Hey, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to our Sunday call. And we're going to chat. It's going to be us. We have some other people maybe joining us. Jennifer will not be with us today. We just had a nice call with her. And she desperately needs a respite. We'll talk about that and how important caregivers need care themselves because they, in fact, get broken down mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually faster than the people they care for. Isn't that correct? Yeah. So we're going to talk about that. So we're going to talk about all aspects of dementia and Alzheimer's, brain fog, kind of a little freestyle. We may go a half an hour, probably go 30 minutes anyway tonight. We have some other people maybe joining us that have great stories. But it's Sunday, and this is a kind of a fall time of the year, and so people are wrapping up a lot of fall tasks and those kinds of things too. So we get that. And this one here is now doing her nails after she was out today doing yard work, mowing, sweeping, vacuuming, blowing, deep potting flowers, which breaks my heart. Well, it does. It breaks my heart when those pretty flowers, and then all of a sudden they end up in a.
They were looking pretty bad, and I'd rather do it now when it's decent out than when it's 20 below.
I get it. Okay, fine. Okay, that's the way that goes. Anyhow, so we had. I'm George. Doesn't really matter. That's Cheryl. That's
I'm
important.
Cheryl.
And we like to have the opportunity to create a forum and discussion for people to have a spot like Jennifer to talk about the experiences that we have. And dementia, Alzheimer's is a slow process. Now, we do know, and more research is showing that Alzheimer's, dementia, is reversible. It is improvable. And it actually, guys, is preventable. So let's talk for half a second about the preventable side, because that's kind of the more easy one, isn't it? I mean, if we're gonna, and this is why you're even on the protocol. I mean, you're taking the protocol as preventative,
right?
Aren't you? And why and what I mean, and it's great. I mean, it's great. The protocol works. It does clear brain fog. And I can tell you that in my personal experience, when I was over the rainbow last year, I should be dead. I should be in a coma. I should have had a stroke. I should have had a cardiovascular. My fasting blood glucose was 834. That is a critical emergency treatment care is necessary immediately. My A1C was 18.1. You encouraged me to go get the work done too, didn't you?
Yeah, he was one of those stubborn guys that, I don't need to go to the doctor.
I didn't. I mean, I only had, now that we've learned what we've learned about insulin resistance, now that we've learned about this, we've become very, very good students over the last 8 months, right? Or so. We've really become educated and continue to learn every day. But I itemized a board of symptoms that you could have with insulin resistance. And I have, of the 68 of them, I had 58. All 10 cognitive ones I had: brain fog, concentration, depression, anxiety, mood swings, memory loss. I mean, just all kinds of them that were just all brain related. I remember one day that I left the house, went one house down to the stop sign. That's how close I'm one house away from the street. Got to there, I turned around 5 different times because I forgot stuff. Have you ever walked into a room and forgot why you walked in?
Well, yeah.
Right.
Most
right.
people do.
Or you
while.
forget where you put your keys. Or
this.
Or the phone. Yeah. That's brain fog. Now that is kind of jokey, but it also can be a sign that we have an issue of brain fog. That's an early sign that there may be something going on. And I was really concerned. I was totally concerned. Hey, Keith, how are you, buddy? I started really getting concerned because I'd be talking and I would forget what I was talking about, or I forget a name. And then I would, in my head, in the quiet noise, there's this chaos going on because you can't see it, but inside it's like, and then I would change the subject or I'll break into a question. I would go over here and didn't notice, maybe you do, but then I could come up with it later in the afternoon. Some other time I'd come up, oh yeah, that was the word. In my head, sometimes I was going like what's that Wheel of Fortune when you pick a vowel? I go, there's an R in it. In my head, I'm trying to put the word together. And there's this silence, nothing coming out of my mouth. And I know that would be noticeable. So I've got to say something. So what can I do to deflect, reflect, get off over here? So those are real signs. I had real issues mentally that I didn't even understand until later, after she encouraged me to go get my blood checked. And when I did, the clinic and the laboratory spent the afternoon trying to get a hold of me. Now I had my blood drawn at 2 p.m, so I was on a 20-hour fast because I'm smart. I'm really smart. I knew that if I waited longer in the day, my fasting blood glucose could come down. It was 834. I didn't know that until the next day. The laboratory and the clinic were both trying to call me. And I finally called them in the morning and go, what you've been calling me? What's going on? Like, why didn't you answer? Well, I was golfing. Guys, at the 834, I was golfing. People at 600 are in comas, have strokes, cardiovascular disease, their organs fail. I was out golfing. When I went into the clinic, you would have thought it was an inner city ER, rushed me in, 4 attendees, and everybody else is in the room. And they go like, are you sweating? Are you dizzy? Are you blacked out? Are you fainting? Is your heart pumping? All those things. No. 834. What did I do with that information? I walked out of the clinic with no medication, with no medical intervention, because I believe that food got me into this mess and food will get me out of it. And I believe that wholeheartedly to this day. And that's really the deal. So we talk about it's preventable. It is preventable. Alzheimer's is preventable. If you want to follow the ADA, if you want to follow that and eat 60% of your meal, 86%, they say 60% of the food you eat, 60% needs to be carbohydrates. Can you imagine that? 60% should be carbohydrates. If you want to guarantee you're going to get diabetes, type 2, do that or more. Just stay on that path. Absolutely. Stay on that path. Because you know what comes after type 2? Type 3. You know what type 3 is? Type 3 is insulin resistance of the brain, and insulin resistance of the brain. Thanks, son. Insulin resistance of the brain is Alzheimer's. There's now a 4 and a 5. There's 5 now types of insulin resistance of diabetes, all related to insulin resistance. And all 5 are recognized globally. So if you want to guarantee yourself the opportunity to go down the path towards type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, dementia, Alzheimer's, fatty liver, stay on the path you're on. Please, by all means, stay on the path you're on, because you'll be there. And then you get to figure it out. And so when we talk about these symptoms, guys, it's kind of like, well, in this house, in your house, right? If there was a fire in the back room, right? The beeper would start going on, right? The fire alarm would start going off, okay? And that's kind of like skin tags. So if you're insulin resistant, you start getting skin tags. That's, and so what, or maybe high blood pressure. Let's say high blood pressure. So then what do? Is they give you a medication to kind of lower your blood pressure. That's kind of like turning off the fire alarm because you got tired of beep, 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 beep. Did that take care of the fire? No, it didn't, did it? Okay. Well, so now it keeps burning. It gets bigger and badder, right? So now we get smoke. So you've got that turned off, so that's not annoying you. But so now you open up a window with a fan. You start blowing the smoke out, right? Now you got rid of that symptom, the smoke symptoms. Is the fire still going? Yeah, the fire's still going. Well, maybe they gave you a pill for something else. Maybe type 2 diabetes. I don't know. They gave you something else for another symptom. Did that take care of the fire? No, not until the firemen get here. And some people will blame the firemen for the fire because wherever there's a fire, they show up. Isn't that insane? But that's how we are treated. That's how we medicate. That's how we do things. There's the sad Sam. Have you heard of sad Sam? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Standard American diet, which is really what? Sugar, starch, salt, right? And oils, seed oils. And then there's the standard American diseases. The other standard American diseases based on the sad American diet. And then there's SAM, sad Sam. And SAM is the standard American medical medicine practice. All built on profit. If you could get the fire put out and never have a fire, all things would be good. We just need to eliminate the fire. We need to eliminate the fuel, the energy. And these are all metabolic diseases. And metabolism is utilization of energy. And so if we have chronic metabolic diseases, they are chronically bad because we're eating and presenting ourselves with bad energy choices. So that's pretty much it. That's how that all works together. And so type 3 diabetes is called dementia. Alzheimer's. Dementia is the blanket. Alzheimer's is just one of a whole bunch of different ones that are in there. So then that's when people are both in denial and afraid of it at the same time, and then never talk about it. Almost, it's kind of like people are ashamed of it, aren't they? Kind of they hide it. It's a weakness and that's slow, and so you deny it. You may say something like, I think I'm losing my mind, losing my memory, I'm doing this, the other. Oh, you're fine. You're just getting older. You're just older. That's just, you start going to the bathroom a lot at night. Well, that's just because you're older. You start to have eggs because you're older. Start losing your mind, memory, you're blind, your vision, your hearing, skin tags, acne, gout, belly fat. You're just getting older. That's just normal because you're getting older. You know why it's normal? Because you're getting older. A lot of people haven't figured this one out either. Because it used to take 10 to 15 years of the modern day food environment for you to have enough of the bad stuff to create and cause the diseases. Now, there's so much high fructose corn syrup in everything, so much ultra high processed foods and everything, that timeline is down to the point that children as young as 8 and 10 have non-alcoholic fatty livers. Now they're trying to get cute. They're trying to get cute and distract you from the fact that kids have that, and they're starting to call it NASH and MASH because they don't want to get people confused with fatty liver. Well, how can a 10-year-old have a fatty liver? Well, it's because you've been feeding them this crap. I mean, what did they get for breakfast? A bowl of what? Cereal. And let's say they're cornflakes. What do they feed cattle? Steamed cornflakes. Look it up. Cattle in feedlots get steamed cornflakes, and they get fiber. They get hay and silage. You don't get that. So you eat that bowl of Fruit Loops or oatmeal or whatever with wheat toast and a glass of orange juice, which is a glass of diabetes, because that's what you'd give me if I was diabetic on the floor. You get your food, spec them up. So give that to an 8-year-old. Think about that. I mean, we've got grandkids, right? And great grandkids. And if we gave our great grandkids a couple Eggo waffles, some maple syrup, a glass of orange juice, they would go what?
Off the wall.
They'd be bouncing all over the place. We're doing it to them on purpose. That's what they're giving it to them in public schools. So yeah, it's the energy that's going down this road. So that's where it used to take. And I'm 73. I turned 74 here in 3 weeks. And she's a little bit older than me, but that's okay. That's why I love you. But the idea is that we've been able to move through 2 different lifetimes of food. When we were kids, there was no such thing as diabetes. The only liver that was alcoholic fatty liver was the poor guy or gal that was an alcoholic. Mm-hmm. We didn't have non-alcoholic fatty liver. Can you remember anybody growing up that was obese? That was a kid?
No.
How about nut allergies, gluten allergies, lactose allergies, peanut allergies? We ate food. We had fats, lots of fats, butter, lard, used leftover bacon grease was used and reused until there's too many crumbs in it, and then you filter it one more time. I mean, we had real fats, real meat. We had real eggs. I mean, milk was fresh squeezed milk. There was no such thing as orange juice. If it was orange juice, it was made. It was squeezed in. And if you bought it at the store in a freezer thing, that was a luxury. And it was full of fiber. It was full of fiber, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. And grapefruit, we ate grapefruit. You ate all the grapefruit. It wasn't just the juice. We didn't have those kinds of juices, did we?
No, we didn't.
And soups were homemade, maybe Campbell's.
Oh, we had Campbell's.
Maybe Campbell's.
We're not that old.
We're not. Oh, yeah, there was Campbell's. Good, okay. But yeah, but we understand there was real food back in the day. Now you have food, but you have in your store, think about this. I laugh about this all the time when we go to the stores, that there's a section over by the pharmaceutical department. How come is there a drug appliance store inside the store. I mean, think about that. And there's a health food section. If there's a health food section in your grocery store, George Carlin would say, well, what's the rest of the store? I mean, there's a health food section, right? There are health food stores. I get that. But inside a grocery store, there's a health food section. What's the rest of it? Just asking for a friend. And why would you need the pharmaceutical that's right there? Why is it called the Food and Drug Administration? Where does food and drugs come in together? When did they come into a powwow? Interesting. Just asking for a friend. I'm sorry, I got off on this tangent, but we're going to talk more about Alzheimer's and that kind of thing. But we're talking first off that it's preventable. So see if we can prevent it, which you can with lifestyle and dietary changes. You can prevent it even if you have both of the chromosomes, the APO4. You can have that. It's not inevitable. Just because you have it doesn't mean that you are it. Does that make some sense? You can forestall it. Let's say let's just say for sake of argument that you have it and you feel you're guaranteed you're going to get it. Do you want to rush the process? I don't know anybody that would want to rush the process. Do you? So we could prevent it. How can we prevent it? We can follow a better format of eating. And what they have found on all the studies so far that are proving that it's reversible, that it's improvable and preventable, one of the types of eating habits they're talking about is the Mediterranean diet. Now, what's interesting, I'm not going to argue about whether you have this kind of bean or that kind of thing. That's not the deal. If they have a format of food that precludes all the other stuff, that's where the lesson is. Because inside of these formats of foods, there's no soda aisle. There's no juice aisle. There's no chip aisle. There's no cracker aisle. There's no fast food aisle. Think about that. Those aren't included in this style. So it would require a change. Now, we don't eat like that all the time at all, do we? No. We had BLTs tonight, and we love our BLTs because the tomatoes from right over here, and we use an avocado. We had romaine tonight, so fresh tomatoes. We use sugar-free bacon. We get it at Aldi's. And we get at the low, so just so you know, anybody that's watching this, the low, and this is an advertisement for Aldi's. If they want to sponsor, they can go. But they have their low sodium bacon, the pound, it's a pound package. Their low sodium bacon is sugar free. It doesn't say sugar free, but it is sugar free if you read the label. And that's a pound. They have a 12-ounce pack. It's labeled sugar free bacon. And it's less weight, costs more, labeled and sold as sugar-free. The real sugar-free is like maybe $4, right around that. We love that. I mean, it quick and fries up. We oven fry it, bake it, if you will. And the bread we use is the Sprouts. I mean, it's the best bread out there. It's just darn good bread. And we use real butter. And so there we go. That was our sandwich. Avocado. Yeah. We love avocado slices on it. Nice. And cheese. Pepper jack cheese. Not the slices. We get the cubes and make our own. But yeah. So we eat like that. But what we can do is we take and introduce fiber before our meal. Because fiber has been taken out of our food. Like we talked about a minute ago. Kids don't get fiber all day long. If they you don't get fiber, do you? I mean, you don't. Do you have at lunch? You have a tortilla, maybe some chips. Maybe you have a wrap. maybe of some kind of sandwich.
Are you looking at me?
No, I guess look at you for support. I'm looking for your help.
No,
Man.
I eat yogurt and blueberries with some walnuts in.
Yeah.
Greek yogurt.
Yeah. And walnuts
That's
are
my
what?
lunch.
Fiber and fat. Yogurt, fiber, or is fat. And and a balance. She has fiber every day. And this is a patented blend of fibers. And it feeds the good gut bacteria. So we don't have irritable bowel or constipation or diarrhea or all the other kinds of stuff. Our guts are fine because our good bacteria is stronger than the bad bacteria. If you have symptoms like that, it's your bad bacteria that's taking you over. When I was having all my mood swings, we were just talking about that with Jennifer because they was asking, do I ever sleep? And I go, I only need 4 hours of sleep. I truly only need 4 hours. But we were talking, and she knew when I was depressed because I did what?
Wanted to sleep all the time.
Yeah.
Hide from the world.
Yeah. And I was, when my blood was way out of whack and I wasn't getting any fiber. I wasn't eating well. I mean, I was getting fiber, I suppose, because I was eating about a watermelon, literally about a watermelon a day, but I was also what? Drinking
about a gallon of milk a day. Too.
Yeah. And soda.
Yeah. Cream soda.
Cream soda, Dr. Pepper cream soda. Boy, it's the best stuff in the world. And one of the places I could get, I had a subscription to every 4 hours, I could go get another glass of diabetes. I mean, get another, go to the dispensary and I was doing store audits across the state, and I knew where every one of those stores were. And about every 4 hours, I could go in and fill up another cup of or soda and blend and everything else like that. So, yeah. And I was constantly eating, constantly sipping, constantly drinking from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed. Yep. That was my bad bacteria was winning over my good because there was no fiber in my diet. And that's where those kinds of things come into play from. So, and for you, young lady, I mean, one of the things, since we've been on the protocol, and when you're on the protocol you haven't had brain fog issues. You haven't had those kinds of.
Yeah, sometimes I do.
A little bit once in a while. You're sneaking on these on your day. But one of the things that has happened since you've been on the protocol is what? What's one of the great things that?
Okay, so I had a hysterectomy in 2016, and it was not cancer or anything. It was just preventative because my Pabst tests were not showing up good for quite a while. So I had a hysterectomy, and
that was our 5th date, by the way, 4th, 5th date.
You stuck it out, did you?
I did.
So anyway, so every 6 months since 2016, I've had a Pabst test, and they still aren't showing up. They still weren't showing up right. So I continued to do that. I did have a little minor surgery, but maybe to help that after the hysterectomy. And it was still they still weren't good. I mean, not cancerous, not bad, but they just weren't right. And they wanted me to have these every 6 months to prevent anything worse happening. And so I continued, and I had one. I'm probably due again in a couple months. It's probably been 4 months since I had my last one. They scheduled me for the next one, which is coming up in a couple months. But when they called me with the results for my last one, and it was great. So, and that's the first time since 2016, well, even before that, that it was good.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of anxious for this next one. Hopefully, maybe. I thought when you have a hysterectomy, you didn't have to have a Pabst test anymore, but that didn't happen.
But after being on this protocol for 90 days, she got her first normal Pap, and that is awesome. That's just absolutely incredible. That's way cool. So we'll talk a little bit about, we're going to talk a little bit about our topic, and that is Alzheimer's. And one of the things we want to talk about here is the very simple fact that it's your mind has got a metabolic issue going on, and it's all related to insulin resistance. And so let's just talk about this cute little couple right there. Who are these peoples?
Well, this is me and my twin sister, Sharon. I'm on the right. Sharon's on the left. We were about 5 years old there. We were mirror twins. Basically, they call them mirror twins. Usually one's left-handed, one's right-handed. Well, I was right-handed, but Sharon started out left-handed, and those days, that was a no-no.
Yeah.
So they force you to write with your right hand. But we did everything the opposite. When she had her babies, she would feed the baby on her right, and the left she was feeding with. Well, I was just the opposite. And in most pictures, you will see that we are in the same position. It was just normal for us to do that. I don't know. It's nothing that we planned, but if somebody's going to take a picture of us, we naturally go to our side we felt comfortable. And this was a picture taken at a wedding. And I'm in the white, she's in the black. Mirror twins, a lot of times they say that some of their organs might be on the opposite side of the body. And we were very, very identical. My dad couldn't tell us apart unless we had our kids with us or our husbands. And my mom always knew. She always knew. It's just a mom thing.
Yeah.
And our kids knew. They always knew. And when she had her little girl, I went over there the day after she got out of the hospital, and Nicole, her little girl, was being kind of fussy. So I picked her up, and I couldn't settle her down. She knew I was not her mother. And Sharon took her. She right away.
Right on down,
she
right?
knew.
Yeah.
Our kids could tell us, from when they're really little, which one was their mom. They never got confused.
Sure. Now, she developed Alzheimer's at age
54.
54. And what was a precursor to, what were kind of some of you didn't really notice anything or sense anything?
Well, I kind of sensed something because she worked for the school district at the time. She was a secretary in the guidance office. And she would call me every night crying. She was so upset. She said, "These kids are driving me nuts. This one lady, she's just constantly over my shoulder." And just, she was actually crying because she couldn't handle it. And then I found out later that the principal went to her husband and said, "I think you better have Sharon checked out. There's something wrong." He said, she always loved the kids. She always loved being around them. And she just has very little patience with them. Something's changed. I think you need to have it checked out. And I noticed things, but I didn't notice them like her family did, because they were with her every day. They were building a house at the time, which is very stressful, but they'd built maybe 3 houses before that. And she was a general contractor. She would see that everything got ordered when the time came, and she would forget if she ordered things. Her family was noticing that. And she just didn't have the self-confidence that she had before. She became very quiet. We were in Florida for her stepson's wedding, And we were walking on the beach, and it was me and her daughter, and she was lagging behind me. And that was very unlike her, very unlike her. And she was very quiet during that time, and that wasn't her. And she just, it's like a personality change.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because she knew something was going on, but didn't know what. They first diagnosed her with depression, which is kind of normal sometimes, and put her on meds for that, and that wasn't working. Finally, her husband said, how about taking her to Mayo? And he said, I think that's a good idea. And she was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's at the age of 54, and that was the biggest shock of my life.
And you guys were still, I mean, you guys are living like 2 minutes apart or 5 minutes apart. You guys are close. And she hadn't changed. You guys were on the same diet. I mean, pretty much.
Basically ate the same way.
Yeah, all the time, and exercise. And I mean, you guys are both doing so identical all the way through, except for maybe the possibility of more stress, a stressful environment.
She had some stress in her life at times. And I think that had a lot to do with it.
Well, that'd be cortisol. Yeah, could be. But you guys remained the same size and weight until later on. Mm-hmm. Okay. And when she was diagnosed, you got real involved in education and things, didn't you?
Yeah, we got involved with the Alzheimer's Association. I did, and her daughter. And they were very interested in us because of being twins. And we had many newspaper articles written about us, many pamphlets. The Alzheimer's Association put out a lot of stuff on us. They asked me to go to Washington, D.C.
Well, both of you to go, right?
Yeah, she went with me to the convention, National Convention in Washington, D.C. And that was hard because I had never traveled by myself. It was always with someone else. So and she could not take care of luggage. She couldn't do anything at that point. And I had to watch her so she didn't wander off. She got stopped in security, and I was behind her. And the lady said, come over here, come over here. And I said, I have to be with her. I said, she's got Alzheimer's. So the lady was nice enough to just step over to the side until I got through, because I thought if she gets separated from me and she gets scared, what's going to happen? I was almost in a panic.
I'm sure you were.
But the lady was very nice, and we got through okay. But yeah, and she had to have help picking out her clothes. At that point, she could still kind of do hair and makeup. I would help her, but she was pretty good still at that point.
Hmm.
But
you talked for what, 45 minutes or so?
I don't remember. It just, when I sat down, and I hated speech class in high school. I hated it. But when I had to write that speech, I was talking from my heart. I was talking from experience. The words just flowed. I wrote it down, and I got up there. I was not one bit nervous. I wasn't scared to get up there. It was just something that was over me that was getting me through this, and I wasn't even nervous. And she was up there sitting on the stage beside me, and there was like 350 people at this convention. She died when she was 61. She was in a nursing home the last year of her life. She started having violent outbursts, and her husband took very good care of her. He would even put her makeup on to take her and do her hair, even if they were going to Walmart, because he knew how important it was for her. But she lived the last year of her life in a nursing home, and I fed her. The last time I fed her was on a New Year's Day. And her food was pureed at that time, and she wasn't swallowing. She just kept chewing. And I thought, I'm not going to do this anymore because I didn't want her to asphyxiate. And that was on a Monday. And I went back on Wednesday. I walked in the room, the hospice came to the nursing home. I walked in the room and the nurse was putting her back in bed from a shower. And I said, she's not breathing right. And so she called the nursing home nurse. Why she couldn't see that, I don't know. And the nursing home nurse said, you need to call family, which I did. She was basically more comatose at that time. She was in one of those big reclining wheelchairs, and she didn't know what was even going around her. But we decorated her room that year for Christmas, even though she didn't. Mm-hmm. And we tried to keep things as normal as we could. So anyway, I called family, and that was on Wednesday, and I actually knew what day she was going to die, and I knew it was going to be Saturday. And she did. Oh. I lost half of my whole that day. We were so alike, we would finish each other's sentences. We'd be in a whole room full of people. I did not need another friend. We could be in a whole room full of people, and we'd be talking to just each other. We completely ignored a lot of people. We didn't realize we were doing that. We were best friends. We just felt comfortable with each other.
And she got really good care, right? In the nursing home?
Yeah, she did.
Good care.
She did. Yeah.
And that's really important, is the amount of care we can get from people. And caregivers need care. And that's what we're just talking with our friend Jennifer. And she's caring for 2 parents. And she needs a respite. She's there 24/7, literally 24/7, with no time for herself. And as a caregiver, one of the things that happens is that caregivers will break down. And Jennifer is really right about there, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
She really is she's really, really tough situation. And so when we start looking at these types of stories, guys, I mean, the reality is there is a story with everybody's story. And they all come down to the fact that we need care, love, patience, understanding. And so if part of our reason we're having these calls is to educate people, is that if you can change, and you can change your situation to where this whole center of the insulin resistance, we get that managed. The rest of the stuff goes away. We've seen it, and it's possible. And that's where we really get passionate about trying to educate you, because over here, guys, this is my mom. This is my mom. This is our mom. And the whole thing here is that if we knew what we knew back when Sharon was 40s, we could have probably helped. I know that if I had known this 10 years ago, what I know now about this protocol, my mom, our mom, would not be suffering from Alzheimer's, because we would have been able to deal with this. Here's mom. She's 96. Looking at this is 5th generation, guys. My mom is 96, and she has 5 generations. She's the matriarch of 5 generations. I want to be the patriarch of 5 generations. If I get there in 20 years or so, I'll be the first Villiam male to get there. You have to be there too. I'll need help.
How many years?
Less than 20. Well, you don't laugh at that. You're going to be here. You'll just be 100. Well, I mean, I'll be 90 something. You know, we'll just get there together. How's that? But this is our mom. This young lady right here 10 years ago was inducted to the South Dakota Hall of Fame. She's in 3 Hall of Fames. There's 10 of us kids, 5 boys and 5 girls. Mom at age 51 went back to college at age 56 as a PhD RN. She now has Alzheimer's. We're blessed that we have her. We're blessed that her great-great-grandchildren, her 5th generation kids get to meet her. I mean, that's something. I remember my great-great-grandmother, Grandma Bug. And I was thinking about Grandma Bug today. She was smaller than you.
Is that her last name?
Yeah, Bug is a name, family name, married name. And I was thinking, she was born during the Civil War. Right about, yeah, because Grandma lived to 100 something and great grandma was, oh my goodness gracious. So I was just kind of thinking time wise, and that's thinking about us and our time, the times that we've lived through. So there's so much history. There's so much reason to be alive, to stay healthy, guys. We want you to be healthy. We want you to be here for your family, for your loved ones. We want you to be here to be here on your terms, to be here. And you can be. We just need to what? We need to take control. We need to empower ourselves. You need the information. And it's fixable. It truly is. It really is. We know, like the other day when we went on this event called Spoon River Drive. Now, Spoon River Drive is multiple counties in Illinois and small towns. And it's something we look forward to every year. Mm-hmm. I look forward to it specifically because I get a funnel cake. I get one funnel cake a year. You didn't get it. I didn't get it. Couldn't find it. But there's so darn many bees. But so instead of having a funnel cake, and because I'm going to have a funnel cake, I'm going to have my fiber in front of it, right? We found some, I think there are Mennonites, making fry pies. They were selling fry pies. And what they were is homemade dough, kind of like fleischkekle dough or empanada dough or pasti dough, or you guys know different kinds of doughs into a meat pie. They're making it right there by hand, pounding it out, putting in the flour, right? Then filling it with fresh fruits, frying it. You gotta love it when it's fried. And then, gosh darn it, they put some powdered sugar on it or whatever. So good. So I had that instead of my funnel cake. So, but the point is that I didn't have to worry about it because I had my fiber, which helped. What? Well, it helped to coat my gut, lower the insulin spike, slow down the absorption, and so we don't worry about it. We'll have a pizza. If we're gonna have a pizza, we both have our fiber, right? We plan it. We don't have to draw back on, I can't have this or can't have that. But what happens though on the protocol, because we have the fiber first, is that we used to polish off a whole pizza. Easy. Now about half?
Yeah.
About half a pizza. Yeah. So we eat less. Not on purpose. It's just because we're full, because we have the fiber. We eat fiber first. Fiber, fat, protein, then maybe carb. So anyway, so we want you to know that there is hope. We want you to know that you have the ability to improve your situation. You could prevent the situation, but it's going to take a conscious effort in changing your lifestyle and your diet. And in lifestyle, simple things like eat, move, eat, go take a 10-minute walk. Even if it's around the refrigerator for 10 minutes. At least you're walking, right? You're walking. But don't walk to the refrigerator, get something else to eat, to come back and go back and forth. No, that doesn't count. When you're done eating, you stop snacking. Stop snacking.
Don't have it in the house. You won't.
That's true. Just don't buy it. Don't bring it home. Don't drive by those places. And if you have a chlorogenic acid tea in the morning, you won't need it. You won't want it. It works that way, doesn't it? And so that's one thing. So sleep, get more sleep than I do. I'm still working. I went to bed early last night, right? I did well last night. I won't tonight, I already know. I'll probably get 6 hours. Yeah, I'll get 6. Sometimes I get 4. 6. I don't have insomnia. I just keep working. When I sleep, I sleep. I'm like a ninja sleeper. I fall asleep. I don't move. I don't snore. I just lay there and sleep fast. I sleep fast. That's called sleep fast. But stop snacking, sleep more, move more, hydrate, watch your order of food, fiber, fat, protein, then carb. Make sure you hydrate. Get good minerals, salts, like Himalayan salt or sea salt, Kelky sea salt, Redmond's, Baja Gold. Get a good mineral salt in you. Watch your B12, B3s. Watch your vitamins. Yeah, watch some of those things, but get good minerals in. Change your order of food. Eat twice a day. Stop snacking. If you're going to snack between your meals. Snack between your meals, like goalposts. Get between the eating zone. So we want you to be well. We want you to be like her, to have a health line that goes as long as your lifeline. Don't be like what I did and have a health line that stops before your lifeline, or in fact, have a health line that ends and your lifeline. At 834, that was fasting. I cannot even fathom what I was like during the day. I really don't. So thanks for getting me to go. It's her credit I went.
I was concerned about him.
Yeah, you were. And I'm the typical guy, and I'm duct tape, and I'm fine, right? Mm-hmm. How are you, honey? I'm fine. Okay, I'm fine. Until it wasn't. So don't go there. Let's take this. Take me as an early warning sign. Don't be like George. Be like Cheryl. So I want to thank you for coming by. I want to thank you for stopping in. Next week, Jennifer hopefully will be here. She has a great story. Pray for Jennifer. Pray for all the caregivers. We're blessed that with mom, we have caregiver. We have a niece that's with her 24/7. But in having a niece that's with her 24/7, follow this, we have respite twice a week for her. We have hospice that comes in twice a week. And there's 10 of us kids, and the 10 of us, there's at least one of us that comes in every month. So we have lots of respite breaks for our boots on the ground. We're blessed that we are able to do that. We really are. And it's providing mom the care that we want her to have, that you want your mom to have. But I don't want you or your mom to go down this path at all. That's our goal. Our passion is to try to help educate so that you do not have to experience these things. The loss of a sister or a brother or father, loved one, period, or even a buddy. Because you wouldn't have been happy if I'd have been gone now, would you?
Well,
would you? I just asking for a friend. I love you. So why we get along. You did good tonight. Thank you. So good night, guys.
Good night.
Thanks for coming by. See you on Sunday. It'll be not as entertaining as the two of us, because there'll be some real people on here, and they'll be sharing their stories. A lot of science, a lot more science than we went through tonight. But we wanted to share the system. We wanted to share our stories because they're important to be heard. They're about love. They're about caring. They're about sharing and understanding. So if we can help you, if you have any questions, please feel reach out. And we'll see you Sunday. And pray for all the caregivers.
Yes. I feel so bad for Jennifer.
Yeah.
Stupid brother.